What is up, FPL managers? Guys, today we are looking at the best players to buy in game week 13, looking at 3 forwards, 3 midfielders and 3 forwards. So yeah, let's get right into it. Make sure you like and subscribe. Remember guys, all the data we're looking at today is taken from the last 5 game weeks. Looking at the first defender guys, we are looking at Gabriel. I believe the Arsenal defence is well and truly back. Arsenal have a solid fixture run in the next 7 games. I believe they're keeping a solid 3 or 4 clean sheets. I don't think they're going to get any lower than 3, which I know is optimistic to say. But if you look at the attacks they're playing against, they're not too good. West Ham, Man United, Crystal Palace, Ipswich, Everton, all clean sheet potential games, guys. Do not be missing out on that Arsenal defence. Obviously, Gabriel is also the defender with the most goal threat. After that, we've got Porro. Now, guys, I know Porro scored last week, but honest to God, yeah, I was going to put him in this video either way. So yeah, I promise I'm not chasing last week's points just because he scored a goal. He is genuinely a good asset to go for. He is 4th for expected goal involvements among defenders from the entire season. His fixture run with Tottenham is decent. It's not amazing, but it's pretty solid. It's one of the better ones in the game. You know, when they face Liverpool in game week 17, you should probably have a 4.5 million defender to rotate him with, or you just sell him off there and then. Overall, with Porro, he's got the expected goals, the expected assists, and the clean sheet potential to get you lots of points. And finally, we got a bit more of a differential option here, guys, in Estupinian. Guys, if you played FPL a couple years ago, you will know how much of a beast Estupinian is/was. And I know that was under an old manager, but Estupinian is still got good attacking potential. His expected data on the attack is not going to be as high as it was 2 years ago. He's already had 1 big chance and he's created 2 big chances in the last 5 games. I know that's not insanely high, but for a defender, that's pretty good. And looking at Brighton's fixture run, guys, the next 7 games look really tasty. Especially the game coming up in game week 13, home to Southampton, is the best time to buy in on a Brighton player. Next up, guys, we have Cole Palmer. Now, Cole Palmer, guys, I cannot express how good this Chelsea fixture run is, okay? I know we've already, we've all got Cole Palmer already, but some of you don't. I'm just here giving you, some more reassurance, buy him. His expected data is solid, it always is. He normally performs it anyway. But the main reason is his ownership is so high. He is the best premium captain for game week 13 as well. Home to Aston Villa on paper isn't too easy, but it's better fixture than all the other premiums have. So yeah, don't be missing out on that captaincy haul because Cole Palmer's home stats are really good and Aston Villa's away stats defensively aren't too solid. So I do see Chelsea scoring a few goals in that game, and I would not be surprised if Cole Palmer was involved in every single one of them. Next up, guys, is another Brighton asset. Yes, we're talking about a Brighton attacker now. We are looking at Mitoma, the most expensive Brighton asset, but very cheap still at only 6.4 million. He has got the highest expected data for Brighton in the last 5 games above João Pedro and Welbeck, and he's played less minutes than Welbeck, so that's pretty solid. I mean, João Pedro's played a lot less minutes than Mitoma, but still, I still think Mitoma is slightly better than João Pedro, purely because I think there's too many good forward spots. There's so many good forwards you could buy. João Pedro, sure, he's great, but he's going to take up one of your forward slots. Whereas Mitoma, he's taken up a midfield spot, and there's not a lot of amazing midfielders in the game, so you're not going to feel like you're missing out by filling up one of them spots with Mitoma. He is also a pretty solid differential if you're looking to gain rank, so yeah. Big up Mitoma. Finally, in midfield, guys, we are looking at Brennan Johnson, a very cheap asset who's lost a bit of hype around him, but he is still 4th in the game in the last 5 game weeks for expected data. He's still getting a lot of expected goals. I mean, the only worrying thing is, the reason I've put him bottom on this list is because he does have 2 goals from 3.4 expected goals, and you guys know how I feel about the people who underperform their expected goals. I don't like them. They're not my friends. So yeah, definitely a player to look out for. Like I said with the Spurs fixture run, it's not bad. And it's not amazing, but Brennan Johnson getting all this expected data, you can expect him to pick up expected goals against almost any team in the league. Let's just hope he can start putting them away again like he was just a few game weeks ago. On to the forwards now, guys. We are talking about the highest priority player in the game. That is Alexander Isak. Now, I know he did blank against West Ham, despite having 0.7 expected goals. And I just talked about people, I don't like people who underperform their expected goals. But, guys, that doesn't matter to me in this case. Alexander Isak is the #1 priority to go for in FPL. The only people with more expected goal involvements than him in the last 5 game weeks is Salah and Haaland. And he's only 8.5 mil. Those guys are like 15 million, 12, 13 million. His fixture run is okay. He's got a few good games coming up and a few tough games coming up. But Isak has already scored against Tottenham, Chelsea and Arsenal. So he's clearly very fixture proof, and he's a player you don't need to worry about in the hard games. Even that home game to Liverpool, on paper it's tough. Probably the toughest game you could play against. Liverpool are the best team in the league. But like I said, Isak did score against Arsenal, Chelsea and Spurs. He can score in these tough games. so it doesn't worry me owning him through that. He is also a decent captaincy option for Game Week 13 as well. Crystal Palace are not a good team this season, so yeah, watch out for Alexander Isak. He's going to be high owned soon, I can already tell. He's going to be in the points big time. You don't want to miss out. Looking at Nicholas Jackson now, his expected data, it's not insanely high, but it's all right. But like I said, guys, with the Chelsea fixture run, you need to double up on their attack. Well, you don't need to. I think it's just a very good idea personally. Long term, they've got so many good fixtures, guys. Next 11 games, I talked about it in an earlier video last game week. Make sure you take a look at their fixtures in detail because there's not many hard games in there whatsoever. He's already proved himself as a consistent asset in FPL as well. He is the 7th highest point scorer in FPL. He scored in the easy games and he scored in the tough games. And finally, guys, we are on to Matheus Cunha now. Cunha is on the highest form in the world right now. He cannot stop scoring bangers week in, week out. He's actually the 6th highest scorer in FPL, one above Jackson, which is weird to think because, you know, when you just don't think about it, you think Cunha's going to be way higher on points than Jackson, but no, he's only got 3 more points overall this season. We can't really call Cunha a cheap forward anymore because he's nearing 7 million as well, but he still is on the lower price side of things if you're talking about mid-price forwards like Isak, Havertz and Jackson and all of them lot. What you guys can see from Cunha here, the main talking point I want to talk about is that he has 7 goal involvements in the last 5 games, but that comes from 2.3 expected goal involvements. So while I do expect Cunha to score quite a few more, considering the fixture run, the next 5 games are really good, I wouldn't expect him to keep continuing into the double digits, guys. He has been getting 4 goals from 1.04 expected goals. That's a massive overperformance. I do think the returns are going to come through though. Like I said, he's got some easy games. Just don't expect him to keep it up to this standard because it's kind of unrealistic, to be completely honest. I do think Cunha owners, I'm going to be honest, I am salty, but you guys have been a bit lucky, okay? It's just how it is. Anyway, guys, those are the 9 players I think you should be looking to buy in Game Week 13. If you disagree, feel free to let me know. And if you made it this far, you are always greatly appreciated. Guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.